This is R Genius, where we help creatives succeed. Today, we're joined by Nicole Purcell, president of Clio, and we are very excited to talk to her about the world of advertising and her journey to Clio and her current role. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me about Clio. The Clio Awards is a brand that we all know about. At least I knew about when I was growing up, and I used to watch it and monitor
on TV,
it, believe it or
yes.
not. And so, Mad Men, right, talks about it.
Mad Men, yes, really was wonderful.
So, tell us about the past, the present, and the future of Clio.
Yeah.
What do you see?
So, I remember it as well. I always remember that name. I'm like, why do I know Clio? And I remember it being on television. They had clip package shows in the 80s with either Kelsey Grammer or a known actor from a TV sitcom that would talk about the world, commercials, the world award-winning commercials. And anything in history that you're talking about advertising, or even writers, creative writers, you see that they were using it in Mad Men. They were using it in The Crazy Ones with Robin Williams, which was an amazing show. Any film or TV show that talked about advertising or creative writers would show the Clio and then pan over to the Oscar.
Absolutely. It is always termed as the Oscar of the advertising world.
Correct.
Yes.
So present in the last 7 years, we built in different verticals in music and fashion and sports. Still in advertising and marketing, but honoring people also outside of that area who are creative geniuses. And then we're launching our own content platform that is coming out in July with an editor that moved over from Adweek, Tim Nudd, that we're very excited to be the voice of Clio, but all of creativity, and to really focus on the people and the work in advertising, but also all these verticals that we're in that we're not seeing being covered. So that's where we're at today. And as we move forward, I want to get us back in front of the consumers. I want them to understand that we are focused on creativity as a whole, showcasing, yes, the advertising and marketing work, but even going beyond that, what inspires people in creativity.
Are those the three verticals only, or do you plan on expanding into
So
other
right
verticals?
now we have the main Clio Awards that happens during Advertising Week each year in New York. We have health, we have fashion and beauty, we have sports, music, and entertainment. And Clio Entertainment takes place in LA. And that is actually 3 industries in one. It's film, television, and gaming. So it's really interesting to see.
It is great fun. And I didn't realize that all of that was under the Clio umbrella.
That is now, we own it. We changed the name to Clio Entertainment. So there's 6 programs at this time.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. The advertising industry, how has it been evolving in the last few years? And advertising I think it's become sort of an amorphous word, but how do you define advertising today? It's so much more.
It's so much more. And I think if you even just look at the last few months, how much is changing from, probably, I'm trying to think, 4 or 5 years ago, we could not get women on the jury to travel with us. For the main Clio Awards, we travel to a location where they actually look at all the work, which is wonderful. It's great networking. You're looking at hundreds and hundreds of work from all over the world. And it's a great, great experience. And in the past, it was very hard to get women to come and take 4 or 5 days of their time to do this. And I know that was called out in our industry years ago, and I'm seeing it even again now, that there was reasons behind them taking off time from work or their family they didn't want to, which sometimes made them lose out on this experience and maybe job promotions.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, it was really amazing. We got called out for it, which was really interesting about 5 years ago, saying we had all male jury chairs. And I said, it's not for us trying, and I'm a woman owner of the company, and I want everyone included. Once we put out the call to action and said to the industry, help us, we need everyone to be involved with judging and the events and everything that we're doing. And finally, we started seeing that. We have a 50-50 jury on Clio, which is a lot of jury. It's over 100 jury members. So to see that change, and
change.
Now just this year, seeing women go into the more C-suite level jobs, that's been a huge change for me to see. And that's just in probably 5 years, and then again this year, that I think is amazing.
That's an outstanding change that you've been able to
It's wonderful, and we want more and more. But we're seeing it now all the time that women want to be involved, and I think that's what it is. They want to feel passionate about it and be involved, and we're seeing that more and more. I think in advertising now, it's the big agencies. Now you're seeing a lot of little agencies, a lot of smaller agencies that are more nimble and can do a lot more with the clients.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that. The advertising world is always, merging and then separating. And then
I think every other
together.
year it's something different, actually.
So what's the current trend?
Current trend is, I think, a little bit of separating. I know a lot. I mean, I call them my friends. They're not my clients. A lot of them are my friends and starting their own agencies. A lot are also going to the brand side. The creatives are starting to work in-house at the brands, which I think is so fascinating. They still work with agencies. It doesn't mean that they don't work with agencies. It's just that you need that creative mind in-house, which I think is great to see. And now we're starting to see the brands on our juries, which is really nice. And they get it. They understand it. They're really working hand in hand with the agencies or with their in-house teams.
That's interesting. I just read I heard a news story this morning about the creative agencies employing increased number of freelancers. Do you know the breakout?
I don't, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
but apparently they're in high demand.
High demand.
They're commanding huge increases.
Because if you specialize in something, I think it's great for them, and they can be pulled in so many different places. And because agencies are now taking on projects, you can't have them maybe also full time too. I mean, we do that here as far as when we gear up big for our programs or going through, media for the judging purposes. We always need to find those great creatives that are in this industry that understand the media side of it, that come and help us for the season, which a lot of our competitors do as well.
Yeah. What are the skills that are necessary these days as you work with all these different agencies? Have the talent that's needed changed?
I think I see a lot. Obviously, social media is huge. So hiring talent right out of college that understands social media for clients, I think, is really a big change. I also think then you have the other side that's not so specific, and it's more about the big idea. When a client's working with an agency or, even in-house, you're talking about a 360 idea. It's not just focused on, we have to do a commercial, we have to do a digital plan. It's a bigger idea, what we're looking for. I think, or a statement, really. And I think McCann did that really well with Fearless Girl. And it was simple as far as what they created, but that went viral. It was so amazing. It won. It's in the history of Clio, we've never had one piece of work win over maybe 2 to 3 grand Clios, which are our top and our best in show. They won about 5 this year.
Wow.
I'm sorry, it was last year.
Yes.
I apologize. So last year they won over 5 grands. For just Fearless Girl in different mediums, which was amazing. And it's never happened in our history, and I don't even think it's happened in other competitors as well. I'm not sure. So that was pretty amazing that everyone really felt the same way. And to see that it was tied with such a simple medium as creating a statue, but then you use social media too. Something so new.
I'm going to edit it and include the artist, the sculptor. Do you know the sculptor's name?
I don't.
I spoke to her.
Okay.
Last year. So I'll go ahead and
yes,
include her name into this.
Definitely.
This
I think, and she's now selling statues.
She is.
Yeah.
And she was thrilled. At first, she wasn't even going to accept the assignment. Is when I spoke with her.
My God, that's so amazing.
And then she did it, and she didn't realize what she was getting into, and now it's turned her life around.
Oh, that's so amazing. Good for her. Yeah. I think every time I see a conference or something going on, or people are actually having it built even to the same actual size and having it at events for them.
Oh.
So it's unbelievable. I'm sure she's the one creating it, but I just think it's and it's agencies, other agencies that haven't created it that are actually doing it and really pushing it forward. So I think that's lovely to see that the whole community at large is so supportive of it. Okay, this one agency did it, but guess what? It was so transcending that everyone loves it and everyone wants to talk about it and push it out there and say how great it was.
It was a very powerful campaign all around.
Yeah.
Amazing. How would one break into the ad business? You know, as an outsider looking in, glamorous, sexy, exciting, creative, but it feels very hard to break in. So how would one do that?
Well, I can only tell you from experiences that I've seen, where actually when we started our show in LA, Clio Entertainment, we had we are open to student entry. So you can actually enter and you win a Clio, a student Clio Award, which is great. We sometimes put them on stage when the jury is really pushing for it, which I think is so fantastic. And about 5 or so years ago in Clio Entertainment, the jury really wanted this student winner that came from Turkey to go on stage. He flew in from Turkey and picked up his statue, so excited, screaming in the audience. And right after that, he got a job in LA. And from, the people in the jury room to the people at the award show saying, this kid knows what he's doing. And this is an amazing piece of work which he created. He got a job right away in LA. And since then, he's been moving from LA to New York, working with, not just entertainment side, but also brand side agencies, which was great to see. So I do think when any award show that you're entering into and you can say that you've won something, I think that's amazing. I've also just recently seen, going back to Fearless Girl, a girl from college that painted herself the same color as the bronze statue and went in front of McCann and actually stood there as the Fearless Girl statue.
Wow.
And asked for either an internship or a job. And I believe she did get it, which I think was amazing.
It worked.
It was very creative. She got
Yes.
out there and she wasn't scared.
Risky.
She looked at their work and said, hey, this is pretty amazing and I want to work with them because they did something great.
Do those tactics work? In this case, it
So
did.
far, they have. You have to see down the line, how long someone will work at that agency or move on. But I do think it works. I really think if you're creative enough, that's what people are looking for. And one of the things we're doing with Ads of the World is trying to create portfolios for students, so they can showcase what they're doing in school and showcase what they're, working on with. Sometimes brands come into the schools and do RFPs. And I think that's so important for them to learn that and understand it and have an outlet where they can showcase it to the agencies. So I know that that's happening a lot and want to build that bigger to help the students get in front of them. Because you're right, it is initially hard unless you're really going to put a, stake in the ground and paint yourself and get out there.
Is it harder to break in on the agency side or on the brand side? What would be the difference?
I'm not that familiar with the brand side, but I think it would be definitely just knowing my clients and friends from the brand side. I think it is harder to get in on the brand side. Again, they're, I think, starting to bring in the creatives more and more, the brands, which I think is amazing. But the agencies are always looking for creatives. That's their DNA.
Got it. Are there differences by sector? You mentioned different sectors: beauty, health, sports, entertainment. What are some of the different trends that you're seeing in terms of the advertising strategies?
Well, I feel like it's similar. They might be doing different things, but the mediums are similar as far as it's either technology or digital that you're seeing, and social media, which all go together. That they're all focusing on for their campaigns and is a big part of it. And then you have the experiential side, which I think is amazing. And we've seen a lot of, from the TV side to the sports side, all the experiences that they're creating for the fans, for the consumers. And I think that makes a huge difference. So you have one that's completely online, and then you have one that's, face-to-face with people. And I think you need both.
You need both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the
you see it
electronics
across it.
Don't overshadow the
No,
real human-to-human experience.
It does not at all. People want an experience. I think our social manager went to South by this year and was blown away that they created Westworld. I mean, she got to go live in Westworld and walk around. And I think people are so engaged with that. I mean, they want to be there. They want to experience it. And yes, you can do things online, but being there in person, whether it's experiencing a place or meeting people, that's so important to have. And you can't just do one without the other. And
that's interesting. I think it's a really great point you make. marrying the online with the offline. I think that's really important.
And all the verticals are doing it,
Yeah,
just in different ways.
it's really great. What are the goals for Clio? And we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about Clio again. What are the goals for Clio as you sit in your position?
I mean, my goal has always been that I want everyone to know why you have a Clio, whether it's in your house you have it or in your office, what it is, and why you received it. So just like what an Oscar is and a Grammy is, I want everyone to know what a Clio is. So it's kind of going back to our history and our roots, I feel, and getting out to the consumers, letting them understand about creativity and advertising and how important it is.
Wonderful. What's been a surprise about your job?
You know what? I think how passionate I became with the brand is a surprise right away. And I say it to everyone that I hire or wants to come aboard, that you will fall in love with this soon-to-be 60-year-old brand and the people and the creatives around the industry. I've made not only clients, but really great friends that I see all the time. And I just think it's amazing how much you can fall in love with a brand.
Wonderful. And as you look out on 2019, you mentioned next year is a big year for you.
Big year.
What's planned?
So we are working on that now for the 60th. Definitely, obviously, our main award show is going to go above and beyond and honoring people that also have 60th anniversaries, bringing in music in a big way, because obviously music's tied into advertising so much in all of our verticals. Also building something that we do a little bigger, Super Clio, is what we do around the Super Bowl. We have top creatives in the industry judge the commercials the next day from the Super Bowl, and we made a Clio Award the same size as the Lombardi Trophy that we give to the brand and the agency that wins.
That's fantastic.
So like they're winning the Super Bowl. But this for next year, we really want to do it actually the Super Bowl Eve and really make it a big live event talking about the creativity in these commercials.
Great fun.
Yeah, everyone's talking about. So we're looking to do stuff like that throughout the year, more in the pop culture realm that we are in already, but really making it a little bigger for the 60th.
Super Bowl. I mean, the game is the game. But
yes. But the commercials, people are always talking about the commercials before the Super Bowl and after the Super Bowl. So we do all the time. And, with Tim Nutt, our editor-in-chief, who's an expert in the field, who will be out there more and more talking on shows and panels about it. But I think the night of the Super Bowl, doing something special around it would be amazing.
Any final words for those out there who want to get in on the Clio action?
Clio action, I mean, we're a pretty, small group. I call us a family business, not a corporation, and we're happy to always meet and talk with people and get them involved and do internships and help out in any way we can. So happy to do that anytime that anyone wants to reach out. But also just to keep going. And if you read something about someone or hear a podcast, reach out to them.
Great advice.
Yeah.
On that note, this has been great fun.
Thank you so much. A lot of fun.
Thank you. This was a chat with Nicole Purcell, president of Clio, brought to you by Our Ingenious, where we help creatives succeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.